Hi guys, break from the usual Unity videos. I decided to write a small utility. I was watching a friend of mine making remakes on his Twitch channel, and I thought it'd be a kind of nice break to maybe do some of these later on, maybe next year. We're kind of running out of time for this year, but it'd be nice to sort of add that to the sort of repartee repartee. I don't think that's right. Of the channel. So yeah, so I just thought I'd have a go at this. It's not a usual video. It's just more of a kind of rambling style video. I've done something like this in the past, so I kind of remember how to do it, but I kind of lose the way. So these journeys are always kind of nice. So anyway, make of it as you will. But of course, we start hitting the keyboard after the fade. So I had this wacky idea of I want to do a remake of Attic Attack, and I downloaded. I'm just gonna pop this up here. I downloaded these graphics here. So this was from the where did I get this from? I got this from icemark.com in the download section. So icemark.com/download/index.html. And it's got all these here, and I thought to myself, well, I could go through the whole tedious process of removing all of these items and then pasting them in there and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought, maybe there's a lazier way to do this. So that's what I'm going to try and do today. And I did this once before, and I tried it since, and it didn't work. And I think it's something to do with the way that the images are like loaded in. I'm not entirely sure. So I don't know. So let's see if we can get it. Basically, my goal is to get all of these as individual sprites. That's the goal, or at least individual images. So I'm going to create this C# application. And I'm going to add a drawing reference. So I want to add system.drawing because I want to get access to bitmaps. And the folder, I've got everything inside a folder, so I'm going to add a new item. I'm going to add a class, and then this is going to be called bitmap ripper, for lack of a better word. And public bitmap ripper, then source image, source image, okay, so that's my interface there. And then for here, I'm going to take the arguments that I get passed in here. So for the arguments, I'm going to pass in, because I want to be able to run this as a command line tool. So I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to go to debug, and my command line arguments are going to be that there, and then it's going to be Attic Attack Sprites .bmp. Now you'll notice there is a space in there, so I'm going to have to wrap everything inside. Whoops. I'm going to have to wrap everything inside quotation marks. So now if args.length equals 1, then I want to do bitmap ripper new bitmap ripper arg0 ripper.run. Else console.writeline format is ripper. Okay, so just simple. It's for my purposes only, so it's not going to be like commercial and nice and all that kind of stuff, and I don't need copyright and things. And I'm sharing the source with you guys anyway, so rip it off as much as you want. I don't care. And I'm sure there's something out there that does this anyway, but it's a fun midweek project to try. So my goal is I want to do just a brute force thing. So look through the image per row and column, find a corner of the image, it's red, process that corner as an image. If an image was found, then increment x by amount. So that's the image width. Otherwise, don't do that. So I have my x equals 0, y equals 0. So while y is less than, well, actually I should probably load the bitmap first. So to load the bitmap, I just do bitmap bmp equals bitmap equals new bitmap, and then specify the source image, and I add my drawing, and that's us. So bitmap takes in a file name, so it gets the file name from there. So bmp dot height while x is less than bmp dot width. So while y is less than the height and y is less than that, I want to say if is corner bmp comma x comma y, process image bmp comma x comma y. So what is corner? Well, is corner is going to be is corner bmp x y. Is corner is going to say if the red component is off the chart. So if is border bmp comma x comma y. Actually, I don't need the if. I just need to do the return here. Return is corner. Yeah, is border. So I want to do that, and so that's my x position. So if I have my image like that, and let's say I've got something like this here, something like that, and so the border of my image is going to be all of this all the way down, and then it's going to be like that all the way across, like that as well. So my corner is going to be, this is red, this is red, and this is red. So that is my x and y. That is my x plus 1 comma y, and that's my x comma y plus 1. Okay. So, like I said, I've been thinking about this for a while, so it's kind of floating in there. So it is border bmp comma x plus 1 comma y, and is border bmp comma x comma y plus 1. And I tend to do quite a lot of that, is I'll write functions that don't exist. So I didn't have a is corner, and now I have an is corner, but now I don't have an is border. So I know what is border is going to be. It's going to take in a BMP and an X and a Y, but what does it return? So I'm going to say bool. Well, it returns a boolean because it's if it's that and that and that, so it's a boolean value. Border bitmap BMP comma X comma Y. So these two routines are kind of similar, but this is gonna return, well, this is going to be a color. So the pixel color is going to be bmp.get pixel x comma y, and I'm going to say return pixel.r is greater than 245. So the red, green, and blue values are between 0 and 255. So we want it to have something that is mostly red, and pixel.green is less than, say, 50, and pixel.blue is less than 50. So long as we have a mostly red and not much green and not much blue, then we're going to count that as a border. So for our purposes here, that should work because these are red here. So we're trying to find this position here, and then we want to find this position here. And once we find that, then we'll know the width and the height of the object. Okay, so process image, and I'm just going to let that create that there. So, what I want to do here is I want to check and see if I can find the border. Okay, so again, because this image here is not right up against the edges there, I'm going to take a risk. But I think it's the same for all of these. Yeah, Nightlore is the same, and Saber Wolf is the same as well. Or is it? I think it's the same. Where that's not right up against the edge there. Be great. Can you not change the background of this? Because that'd be really cool, is if you could change the background of this so you could. Oh, I don't want to see photographs. Okay. So I think it's the same for Saber Wolf. I'm not entirely sure, and Underworlds might be the same as well. So who knows? Maybe I have to try and figure something out. So start x. So start x is going to be the value beyond the red component. So that's going to be x plus 1. And start y is going to be y plus 1. Because that's going to be this square here. And then I'm going to say int, and this is going to be our runner x is going to be our x position. So our x position is going to be our first red pixel, while rx while is border, and then it's going to be BMP, but this time instead of x it's going to be rx, and y I'm going to do rx plus plus, and rx is less than bmp.width, because you don't want it to go off the edge there. Let's have that as a boolean value. If rx equals bmp.width minus 1, false. So return false if if we go outside the bounds. Similarly, I want another runner for y equals y, while is border bmp comma rx comma, no, it's not rx this time, it is going to be just x comma ry, and our runner is less than bmp.height. So we're going to go down the way from our first x value, and I'm going to say ry plus plus. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to say if rx equals bmp dot height this time minus 1, return false. So I'm going to say return true, and I am going to say, I just want to console.writeLine, and this is going to be x equals 0, y equals 1, width equals 2, height equals 3. And that's going to be our start x, start y, and then our width and our height, which I haven't calculated yet. And width is going to be our runner x minus x minus 1, and height equals our y minus 1, and that gives our height, and then we return true if we have passed in those values. So probably not going to need half our stuff, so let's just get rid of it, and the same thing from here. So I'm going to grab that in there, process the image. So if it's a corner, then we're going to process the image. So let's set a breakpoint there just now so we can debug this. So we process the image, well, that's the border, add one to it. Okay, and then console writeLine for that. Okay, all right. So oops. So if process image to do add to x here, to do set next y here, else x plus plus. So we just want to add 1 to x. If we failed the processing image, you just want to move on to the next value. Otherwise, we want to add the width of the last object. So I'm going to create int last sprite height equals 0, is 1, let's make it that. Int last sprite width equals 1. Because I'm in this class, and again, it's not for outside, but I do want to make it like readable. So last sprite height. So if last sprite, actually that's just going to be y equals y plus last sprite height. Okay, and then I just need x plus equals last sprite width. So that is going to be last sprite width equals rx minus x, last sprite height equals ry minus y. Actually, I want to check and see if because it can have a variable. Can have a variable. If that is the case, then that's a bit of a nightmare. Static attack sprites. Yeah, I can have a variable. Well, that's okay because it's variable on that line, isn't it? So I don't really care. So if our y minus y is greater than last sprite height, sprite height, our y minus y. Let's move it to because we're going along the x value anyway. So y equals y plus x. So that should be good to go. Well, that didn't work. Okay. So that's going to be else x plus plus. Whoops. So if it's a corner and I process the image, add the width. Otherwise, just add 1 because it's not a corner. Otherwise, add 1. So hopefully we should get to this point here. Okay, good. That's good. So if we process the last image, does it ever hit? Well, this is not good. Oh, it finished. Ah. It's so good, so efficient, it finished. Okay, we got no hits. It's a good start. Alright, what did I do wrong? Is border. Okay, let's start at y equals 1 and x equals 1 because I know for a fact that is actually a corner. Because if I open this in, open with paint.net, you'll see that that one there is definitely 1, 1. So that's 0, 1. So that's definitely a red mark. Okay. So it is corner. Pixel is 255, 255, 0, 0. Okay, so pixel R is 255, pixel G is that. So this whole thing is going to equate to, it's going to tell me in just a sec. Okay, so it did process it. Process image is border. X is that. Okay. Oh dear. Rookie mistake. RY. Okay, so hopefully we're going to get to this point here. Oh, there we go. So width is 18, height is 20. Okay, so that's wrong because if I go here and I select this, it actually says know if you can see that down here, but it says, yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but it says 17 by 19. So we are 1 over, so it's got to be -2 for that, which makes sense because we're 1 over what it should be. Okay. Did it only find one? Did it find more than one? Oh, found more than one. Okay. So it found... Alright, so it found quite a lot actually, and it looks like it found the entire top row. So if I bring this top row here, move a few of these out the road. So we see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it worked. But what it didn't do was it didn't move to the next row, which I think is because it's moving too far down. So if I what if I made that -2? Because I want to bring it back up again. Maybe that will find everything. No, still finding just the front row. Actually, maybe I just make it last sprite height. Is that? Let's try something. Because I don't really care because it's not going to be a corner. Because my pattern match is that it's a corner. So if I do that, then I still get that. Okay, so let's just make that 1. Oh, because x equals 0. That's why. So this is going to be a bit time consuming, but it will find every single possible image. So now that I have reset my x here, then he's basically going to the end of that row, moving down to the next line, and then trying to continue on from there, and of course that's not going to work. So pressing F5 now, there we go. Okay, that looks like everything. Well, that was good. 1920, 1920. Okay, cool. Okay, so I wanted to create a folder if it doesn't already exist and do stuff with it. Okay, so source image is there, so string folder equals path dot directory name source image string file name path dot get file name without extension source image string image folder equals, actually let's make that up here. Image folder equals path dot combine folder comma file name. If directory dot exists, if it doesn't exist, image folder. Okay. And then we're set. So we're good to go. And then I have a counter that I want to set. So run process image. And then I've got an integer here, int image counter equals 1. So this is going to be x, y, z, and then counter, add 1 to the counter if we process the image correctly. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so I need to say, so forget about that, don't need that, or that, or that, and that can go to that because that will keep it consistent with everything else. Exists, and then I want to, when I process it, I want to create a new bitmap. So bitmap copy, well, sub equals new bitmap, and then it's going to be width and height, and then I want to do using graphics g equals graphics from image sub the g draw image, and then the image I want to draw is the bitmap we have, and then it's the source rectangle. So we get rectangle source, new rectangle, and then it's going to be our start x, start y, width, height, and then our destination one is going to be our source, well, it's going to be 0, 0, width, height is going to be our destination. And the one we're looking for is rectangle, destination rectangle, source rectangle, and then graphics units pixels. And that will draw the image, draw the sub image onto our new bitmap here. And then all we need to do is string path equals, and then it's going to, well, it's file name actually, is going to be our counter format, and it's going to be our counter dot png comma counter, and then we want to do sub dot save path dot combine image folder name. So we want to save to whatever the image folder is, and then the name inside that image folder. And then we want to do that every single time we do it. So right now I just have a sprites folder here, so my goal is that when I hit the F5 key, it creates a folder and it dumps all the images inside there. Well, that was fast. And then we look inside Attic Attack Sprites, and they're all there. Yes! Awesome. That's great. So that means that it will now, it'll pretty much work with all of these. So if I do the same thing for, let's try, actually let's make a copy of this program here. So open folder, so bin, debug, let's call that red. So we'll take that out there, and then we'll put that inside our sprites folder here. And I will drop to a command prompt. So now I'm in here. So I'm going to do red, and then the folder, well, the name of the file is just going to be, what do we do? Let's do Jetpack. Okay, so this will hopefully do the exact same thing that we did for Jet. Actually, no, I think Jetpack's yellow. So that's not going to work. That's going to be night lore image. Okay. Lore image. Okay, .bmp. Okay, so we do PIRAD, CD night lore image. Now I have all of these, which is a weird name. But then if I do explorer dot, you see that we have every single night lore image ripped off and ready to go. So there you go. So that, to be honest, I mean that's taken me. I'm going to look down here now. That's taken me 35 minutes. That would have taken me easily, you know, a good 2 or 3 hours inside Photoshop to do that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a little program that basically takes those images and then centers them on another. Well, I'll enhance this program a bit, so it centers them so that they're all exactly the same size, just to help with placement. So yeah. So this has just been a little kind of bonus video this week. Thanks for watching. It's not really about Unity, it's not really about game development, but it might come in handy for you if you have, let's say, an artist friend who makes you some images and then says, hey, here's the sprite sheet, and then they put them all inside this format, which is a very, very common format to have, which is the sort of sprites blocked off with the rectangle there. So yeah, it's just a nice handy dandy little utility that you can use for this very feature. And similarly, you can do the same thing with you know, change it up to like within the color there. So so instead of that, it would be yellow you would try for. So in that case, what you could do is, let's say we wanted to do for yellow. So if equals 1, if it's greater than or equal to 1, we can say if args.length is greater than or equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, then ripper dot red equals, and then we're just going to specify the red component. So the red component of, where are we? Our Lunar Jetman sprite here. Oh, why did I open it in that? Open with Paint. No, Paint.net. I like Paint.net. Best thing about Paint.net, it works and it's cheap. So if I go to my little bucket here and I get my little bucket there, and then I see what the components are, you can see that it's 255, 255 on the green. So let's change the code so that we can import that and we can do the same thing with Jetman, because what if we want to do a Jetpack version later on? So red is going to be, and again, there's no error checking here. This is just me purely just doing this on the fly, and it would be just for my purpose, or our special little program. So int parse, and then it's going to be args, then instead of 0 it's going to be 1, and then we do the same thing for blue and green, 2 and 3. So only if we specify all of that. And then our bitmap ripper, we are going to choose public. Did I choose red, green? I did. Int red set, and then green and blue. Actually, these are bytes, so let's make these bytes instead. These are byte, but not byte, like byte. So that would be byte. So we parse out those strings there. And now that we have our strings, instead of process image, we can check to see as a border. We can actually say if red is greater than red component and green is greater than our green component and blue is greater than our blue component. Well, now we got into a bit of a problem because we have red, green, and blue there. Well, blue. If we make blue 0, then that's going to be fine. So that's okay. So let's copy that file across again. So I go back to my binary file here and I copy, change that, and then change this to red, although technically it's any color now. And then I go back to here, paste that in there. And then this one was lunar jet. Where's the jetpack one? Jet space pack. Okay. So if I do jet. So there's my jetpack one. So if I do red jetpack.pmp and then I specify 255.255.0. Fingers crossed it should go and create actually let's make that 250.250. That should then check to see if the red and green components are above 250, which means they're yellow, and blue is greater than 0, which it can't be. So that didn't work. Okay. So let's pass this into here. Properties, and then say instead of jetpacks, we'll change that to jetpack, and then 255.255.0. Okay, now we run it. So red is 255, green is 255, blue is equal to 0. And then inside our bitmap ripper class, I want to check to see what the pixel is. So 252, so because I put in 252, 2525. Maybe it'll work if I just do 240. Nope. Okay, let's make it 240 here. And so that's true, that's true, that's false. Okay. Okay, so the border's got to be 0. So blue is. I need to figure a way to do this. And blue is equal to 0, or let's cheat. We can try and fix this later on, but I just want to see if this actually works if I pass this in. Okay, so I'll go to sprites, back up to here, bin, debug, delete that, red, copy that across, paste in there, and try this again. Woohoo! So I now have jetpack sprites, and you see that these are all the jetpack sprites in here. We're going to make them a little bit bigger. So yeah, these are all the jetpack sprites in there, and then that should work for, if I do the same thing with Attic Attack again, what was the one? Night Lore Mask was the red one. So if I do, hopefully we don't default the values there. Yeah, we don't default the values there. Okay, so so we're going to say red's got to be passed in to be that. So it's got to be red is got to be defaulted to some other color. So in here, I'm going to say that the default value is 240, green is 0, and blue is 0. Otherwise, the player's they've chosen to specify other values for that, so they have to specify all of them. That's why we're going to do that there. And then inside here, that is border. This has got to be green equals 0 or match that there. Okay, so it's got to be red, basically. It's got to be some red component, so it can either be that purple color, so the magenta color, so 2550255, so 255 for red, 0 for green, 255 for blue, or it's got to be something else. So, oh no, don't want to delete that one. I want to delete this one. Red, I want to copy that. Right here. So there's another one here, Saber space Wolf. So if I do, if I don't specify anything, parameter not valid. Oh, that's because it goes to the edge. See? That goes to the edge there, and I bet you Underworld's the same. Yep. So Night Lore image should still work. No, it doesn't. So do I have to specify these now? Okay, I appear to have broken it. What did I do? To attack sprites. Take space attacks. Is that 2 spaces there? It is. Oh, because I'm getting I'm getting weird height things now. Okay, let's just leave it as red. Okay, so if red is greater than 240 and green. It's too late. Green. This is sorry. This is less than 25 and blue is less than 25. Then do all of this. Okay, so if it's red, if there's a huge big red component, then that's the one that we're interested in. So I want to do from there. So hopefully this will now work again. All right, good. Okay, fixed it. It's easy fix for Jetpack because it can actually just go in here and there's a magic wand tool. This one here, and I can choose global, and I can choose all of these. And so now I've selected all of that, and I can choose red from the menu, and then I can just do flood fill. So I can save this as Jetpack, Jetman, whatever it is. So he should be red now. So was that Lunar Jetman? Yeah, Lunar Jetman I did there. So if I now do red lunar jetman.pmp, I now have Lunar Jetman in here as well. Okay. So anyway, have fun. Yeah, so you can see that we have all these sprites now. So yeah, perfect. All right. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's been a break from the usual Unity videos, and I hope you enjoy them. So, or I hope you enjoyed this one anyway. So thanks again. Thanks. Bye.